نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. So we covered Surah Yusuf already, Alhamdulillah. Now I had a choice to choose which surah to start with. So I was thinking about it, so I said, actually one of the alims, he sent me a text. And it has all of this series on the, which were the lectures on Surah Kahf. And it said that, the text, it says that this is the greatest need of current time. That the scholars of this time should themselves be aware of what are the trials and tribulation of these current times, and the scholars, they should make the people aware of them, the believers, the Muslims aware of them. And the greatest fitna of all time in the entire human history is going to be the fitna of Dajjal. And Surah Kahf has to do a lot with that fitna. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Allahu Akbar, I was just discussing this with someone, that this is our greatest mistake. One of the greatest reasons behind the depression is that we don't recognize the bounty of Allah. We don't recognize what Allah has given us. In terms of dunya, that's another thing. But in terms of deen, what Allah has given us? Allah has given us complete deen. No ummah before us was given complete deen. Allah has granted us the Imamul Anbiya, not just a prophet, but the Imam of all prophets, the leader of all prophets, Khatamun Nabiyyin, the last prophet, and about which is said that prophet is that prophet who is given the knowledge of Awwaleen and Akhirin. All who have came before, the knowledge of them, and those all who are going to come after him, knowledge of all of them, were given to one man, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We don't recognize. We don't know who our prophet is, what his magnificence is, what our deen is, what can we achieve through our deen. We don't know. So, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said in one of the hadiths, the meaning of that, don't just listen to the hadith. Try to understand what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying. The one of the great dilemma of this information technology is that we are filled with so much information, so many. You just go online, so many lectures out there. Every alim is speaking. There's so many, and everything is just available on one click. One of the greatest problem of this, side effect of this, is that we are used to listen to so many things but not understanding anything. We listen to so much. Ajib, Sahaba Ikram Razwanullahi Majma'een, it comes about them that they used to go learn one ayat. And they would not go learn the next ayat until they understand the previous one and apply in their life completely. This is what it is. So not like us that finished the whole tafsir of the Quran so many times, but the life is still the way it was. Understanding of the deen is still the way it was. Nothing changed. Because we listen. No understanding. Never open our hearts for it. never asked Allah of the understanding of it. That's why the hadith, it clearly says that man yuridillahu khayran yufaqihu fid-din. That whomever Allah wills goodness with him, when Allah wills goodness with someone, well for someone, when Allah wishes well for someone, it didn't say, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam never said that Allah make him listen to deen. Allah teach him deen. No. Yufaqihu fid deen. Allah gives him the understanding of deen. That he listens to something and he understands it immediately. He goes into the depth of it immediately. This love of dunya blinds a person from this. Love of worldly gains, running after dunya so much. This is the greatest defect, side effect of it, that it blinds a person. A person will listen to khair but will not understand. And when a person never understands something, he will never be able to apply it in his life. He will never understand what are the benefits, what are the harms. So listen to what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. He said, there is no khair in this world which I have not told you already. There is nothing, goodness which exists in the world, exists in this life, and I have not told you about it. All the khair which exists in this world, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has already told us about it. There is, and then he said, there is no shar, there is no evil, there is no bad, there is no harm which exists in this world, and I have not warned you about it. This complete deen we have. What a great loss if we do not understand our deen. What a great loss if we do not pay attention to what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to us. What a great loss if we do not follow him. What a great loss. Even after having the solution and we don't understand it, we don't apply it. What a great loss. I'm trying to find the right word. What I'm trying to say is, a person has something very valuable with him and he has no value for it. Something very valuable a person have, Allah gave him something very valuable and it's just laying around. He has no concern about it. He has no value for it. He has no value for it at all. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given us this deen. And he has warned us from every trial and tribulation which is going to come before the day of judgment. How shaitan will attack. Now, before we get into that, so today we just have the introduction of Surah Kahf. Why are we going to learn Surah Kahf? And why is it needed, especially in these times? So, we need to understand this first, that Allah has created us with these limits of time and space. We exist within time. We exist within space. Allah is free from time and space. Allah doesn't exist in time. Allah doesn't exist in space. Allah is free. Allah is the creator of time and space. Even in Surah, one of the beautiful example of it, one of the beautiful demonstration of it is in Surah Kahf. Is there in Surah Kahf. That these people of cave, when they got into cave, these young men, and they went to sleep. So the creator of time, the controller of time, showed his power on time. Subhanallah. 309 years. وَلَبِثُوا فِي كَهْفِهِمْ ثَلَاثَمِائَةٍ سِنِينَ وَازْدَادُوا تِسْعًا. Allahu Akbar. This is the miracle of Quran. Allah is saying, I'm not in time. I am the creator of time. Time is my creation. Is my creation. Allahu Akbar. So Allah demonstrated it, His power over time. 309 years. What does the Quran says? And we are going to cover it inshallah. That the sun used to rise, but the sun rays would go left and right. It would not come in the cave. It would not come because it is controlled by Allah. 309 years later, they woke up as the same way they slept. Nothing grew. The time was stopped for them. So anyway, this is the very first thing we need to understand is that Allah created us within time and within space. So we exist in space, we exist in time. And every one of us has limited time. This time is going to finish. So we need to understand before the time finishes why we were given time. Why we were placed in this time and space. We need to understand that. That is the very first thing to be understood in our deen. That you need to understand the purpose of your existence. That will solve all the mysteries you will face in life. This is what we fail to understand. That Allah never sent us into this world to just enjoy worldly joy. We were never sent for that reason. We were never sent to just fulfill our needs and desires in the best manner that we can. No. That was not the purpose of life. That was not the worldview Quran gives us. That you'll be born, you have to attend school, you have to attend college, you have to get a degree, you have to get married, then children, then some property, then some business, then some job, and retirement, and then that's it. That is not believers' worldview. That is not what life is all about. That is not what La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah means. So what worldview Allah gives us, what worldview Quran gives us, we need to understand that first before we understand anything after. The worldview Quran gives us is that is mentioned in the first ruku of Surah Kahf. Allahu Akbar. Inna ja'alna ma 'ala al-ardi zinatan laha linabluwahum ayyuhum ahsanu amala. This is the worldview. That we are going to beautify whatever is there on the face of earth. Whatever is around you is going to be glamour, is going to glitter just to test you. That after all of this, what you see around you, are you still going to obey Allah in the way He wants you to obey Him, or are you going to follow your desire and fall into the traps of shaitan? That is the worldview. That is the purpose of our existence. Allah has placed us within this time and space to test us. Every single circumstance is a test. Every single day is a test. Every single night is a test. Every single other human being's behavior with you is a test. Your family, your wealth, your job, your business is a test. Your inner desires is a test. I don't know. You know what they say? They say this in this manner, that we have to put this lens of test in our eyes. You know, a person puts a lens in an eye, contact lens, and then he sees everything with that lens. So we need to put this lens in our eyes. This lens is missing. That's why we are so confused what is happening. We are not able to understand what is right, what is wrong. We are not able to get hidayat from Allah because this lens is missing. that you are not placed here to have fun. You are placed here to be tested. Now just go into that mode of being tested. Just for a minute. A person goes into the examination hall. A person goes into the examination hall, and he has this exam. So once he get done with that exam and he comes out, if you will ask him how many fans were there in the examination hall, so he will start laughing at you. I went there to give the test to count how many fans were there. It was cold or it was hot. I had no idea it was cold or hot. I was so focused on my exam. I was so worried about it. I never felt the weather. How many students were there? What kind of furniture was there? No, there will be no talk about it. There will be no concern for anything. This is the this is the lens of test Allah wants us to have. The very first step in deen. You're going to be tested. Now, how to go through this test, and how the people before us succeeded in this test and failed in this test. Everything is mentioned in Quran. The stories of the previous nations are not told to us to have fun, or they are not just fairy tales. They are told to us to understand this, that they were also tested, and see these people were successful and these people were failed in the test. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, now for every person the test is different. For every nation the test is different. People in the nation before us, that test was totally different for them. But the time, and 10 years before, 20 years before, one generation before, the test was totally different. The generation now has a totally different challenges. Totally different world. One of the sheikh, I was reading of one of his quote. He was saying, Ajim, and what he said was totally right. That he said, don't raise your children the way your parents raised you. Because the world your parents raised you for never exists now. It don't exist. The world is totally different now. So my dear brothers and sisters, we need to understand this. Very first thing, that we are going to be tested day and night until Allahu Akbar. Until when? Until when a person is tested? Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal rahimahullah, famous story of his, that he is laying down on his deathbed and his own son is sitting next to him. And he is unconscious. Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal rahimahullah, he's unconscious. He gains conscious and he goes back unconscious. He gains consciousness and then he goes back, he loses it again. And as soon he gains it, he says, not till now, not till now, not now. And then he loses his consciousness again. 3 times this happened. And then when he gained his consciousness again, his son asked him, my father, what is it I am seeing you're saying not now, not now? Are you afraid of death or something? Why are you saying this? So he said, I see devil is coming again and again before me. And he kept on saying to me, Ahmad, you protected yourself from me. Tu mujhse bach gaya. You protected from me. You protected yourself from me. You saved from me. You are saved from me now. So I am saying not now. Until this breath goes out with the iman, we are not saved. We are still tested. Now, why I chose Surah Kahf, why I chose Dajjal, why I chose this topic of Dajjal, is that like everything around us is placed there to to fail us in our test. Allah, the word is fitna. Fitna is what? Fitna is that thing which will determine who is failure and who is successful. The process which the process from which gold goes through, and after that process, what is pure gold is separated from what is impure, impurities, right? That process is called fitna. Allahu Akbar. So every single thing around us is a fitna. Allah is, the most closest thing to me, my family and my wealth. Allah directly said it, that is fitna. Innama amwalukum wa awladukum fitna. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said in one of the hadiths, Allahu Akbar, he said, a time will come, fitna is going to be this huge, this deception is going to be that huge, this source of deviation from akhirat, from Allah, that every single thing around us will deviate us from Allah in akhirat. Every single thing around us will try to take our iman away from us. Allahu Akbar, please listen to this. Allahu Akbar. He said, كَقِطْعِ اللَّيْلِ الْمُسْلِمِ, when the night gets totally dark, it's going to be like that. I mean, back in the days, we don't see any darkness nowadays. We have so many lights. But back in the days when it used to be totally night and it used to be dark at night, there used to be no electricity. So sometimes it used to get this hard when the moon is not there. It used to get this dark that the right hand cannot see the left hand. You're just not able to walk. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a time will come. The hadith says this. A time will come that fitna is going to be so huge. There's going to be deception everywhere so much that people will not understand what is iman and what is kufr. What is right and what is wrong. Allahu Akbar. What ulama has written, please listen to this. 30 years before, something used to be considered as wrong. 20 years before, that thing became right. And 10 years later, now that thing is celebrated. It's just not right, it's celebrated. This is how fitna works. We need to understand what fitna is. So my dear brothers and sisters, our iman is our greatest entity to succeed in this test. Our a'mal, our greatest entity to succeed in this test. And fitna is what attacks on our iman. Fitna is what attacks on our a'mal. This is what fitna is. This is what fitna is. And greatest fitna is going to be Dajjal. It is going to attack our iman, attack our amal. What Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said? Since every single thing is going to be mixed up, the iman and kufr is going to be mixed up, and people will not understand what is iman and what is kufr, what is right, what is wrong. Yumsil mu'minu kafira wa yusbihu mu'mina. What he said, the mafhum of the hadith, is a believer is going to be a believer in the morning and a kafir in the evening. He will say such words. He will not pay attention to what am I saying. He will take such decisions. He will not know what kind of decision I'm taking, which will take him into the fold of kufr, which will take him out of the fold of Islam. So that's why I chose this surah, I chose this topic, that in these current times, where The fitna is on its peak, my dear brothers and sisters. We need to understand this. Just one thing I want to point out before I end. Greatest, please listen, greatest source of shaitan, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he himself said it. He himself said it. Greatest fitna I am leaving after me on my ummah is woman. Is woman. Shamelessness is on its peak now. And the thing which annihilates Iman so quickly, this is what shamelessness is. Everywhere. How you gonna protect? You tell me, how are you gonna protect? You step outside and shamelessness is in front of you. You open your phone, shamelessness is in front of you. Wherever you look, shamelessness is in front of you. One of the same sheikh I was listening to, he said, Allahu Akbar. The word he used, he said, shamelessness is on that level in this era, that level has never reached in the human history. How many heinous acts of shamelessness have been committed before us? But what he said, the much shamelessness has reached in this era has never reached before. Every single thing is sold with shamelessness. Don't we see? The car is sold with the naked woman. The phone is sold. Everything is advertised with the naked woman. What? This is what we need to. And now the concern I am representing in front of my community, my people, and myself is, now we are so used to it that we are not even considering it wrong. We are not even taking it as a fitna. This is the problem. We are losing our iman day by day, and we are not even realizing it that we are losing it. And this is what exactly Dajjal will do. This is what exactly Dajjal will do. He will show you things and make you realize what is wrong, and he will make you realize that is right. So inshallah we are going to cover this every Friday. That what are the signs of the coming of Dajjal? The Dajjal will not show up just like that all of a sudden he will come out. No. There will be a huge preparation before he comes out. Every prophet before us, every prophet who came into this world warned his nation about the coming of Dajjal. Every prophet. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam took it to one step more. He told us that many details about him that no prophet before him told. So many details about him. How he is going to look like. What is he going to do? What is the circumstance going to be and when he will come? Every single thing is mentioned in detail. So inshallah, slowly we will cover that. But I request from all the brothers who are listening that we need to take this seriously. The only thing about Dajjal is, like we have taken other things as fairy tales, we have also taken this also as a fairy tale. Or we think, oh, this is going to come just right before Day of Judgment, and Day of Judgment is really far away. No, this is not like that. This is not like that. We are not far away from that era. May Allah protect us. May Allah protect us. But we are not far away. The ulama are warning us. The ulama are telling us that if you open, and this is what I really need to talk about inshallah next Friday, that this is the last thing I'll say. I'll leave on this note. Allahu Akbar. That those who will have insight, those who will have the sight of heart, those who are going to be spiritually strong are going to recognize Dajjal as Dajjal. And this is going to be the greatest preparation before he comes. that the spirituality of the entire mankind should be finished at all, totally. And this is what is happening around us. That majority of the ummah, we leave the non-believers aside. They are totally out of the equation. Believers, Muslims, Muslim ummah, majority of them do not even have, good deeds in their life. Majority of them. Majority of them are not even offering 5 times salah. And those people who have some good deeds in their life, those who have some, a'mal in their life, their a'mal are empty from spirituality. Their salah is not stopping them from shamelessness. Their salah is not stopping them from telling lies. Even that minority of ummah who have some deeds, even their deeds are empty. They're lacking spirituality in it. There is no remembrance of Allah. There is no love and fear of Allah. Some rituals and traditions they have been following, they have been doing for so many days. This is what it is. So this is the preparation of Dajjal. That it is before he comes out, the spirituality is going to be vanished. The people will be only left with this physical eye. So they will believe only what they see. They will not get to the understanding of it. They will not see the reality behind it. And this is what fitna is. This is why the Dajjal is the greatest fitna. That outwardly he is going to show us that the dead is coming back to life. Outwardly he is going to show us that he will command the sky and it will start raining. Outwardly he will show us that he will command the earth and it will start pouring crops and pouring its treasures. It will show it. Dajjal will show all of this. But the believer who will have insight, who will be spiritually strong, he will recognize, no, this is Dajjal. Inshallah, we will cover this in detail on the Fridays, inshallah. But this is the greatest need of this time, my dear brothers and sisters. Especially the circumstance now we have been in. Masajid has been closed. One alim, the same alim who did this series, he said it once that what will happen, how like what I said, that the spirituality is going to be vanished and is going to be totally annihilated from human beings. How is going to happen? The places from which people get spiritually strong are going to be closed. The places from which you get the spirituality are going to be closed. Isn't it this what is happening? Yeah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati